Today will be an exciting day. Have you ever wondered how much horsepower does my Model A actually make? Well, I did too, and so we're going to put it on the dyno today. The Ford Motor Company advertised 40 horsepower. I'm not quite sure if it's going to make that. I'm mostly interested in how much torque this puts out and how the curves on it are, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be something like that. And well, there's no real point in speculating any further, so let's start the old girl up and head on over there. Nee, das war nichts. Gerade. Ist jemand da? Gerade. Machen wir weiter. Ist jemand da? Gerade. Gerade. So, lass mal gut sein. Ja gut, okay. So what you have to do before you actually do your pulls is you have to tell the dyno what kind of car or engine there is, because it has no idea what kind of wheels are on this thing, it has no idea about the engine RPM, no idea what values to expect, and so you usually take the engine RPM from the ignition cables. That requires 12 volts, and that was unobtainable on my car. We managed to get around it by increasing the charging amperage. That somehow also increased the voltage, and it was just enough to get the strobe light to work. However, the car made such a large amount of radio interference, it's just blank cables, so there's no real insulation going on, and it kind of frayed the electronics. You could see the display and the TV screen there were starting to flicker about, and we had to abort that. What we did was look up the differential ratio. It was 3.78 to 1, and calculated by tire diameter and the direct drive in the transmission that we would have around 1500 RPM at 50 kilometers an hour, and that's what we then used as a go-to value. So the scale later on may not be 100% accurate, but it's accurate enough for what we are doing. So we had successfully done the first pull, and that was quite alright, but I had forgotten to advance the timing while stepping on it. So we did a second pull with the timing advanced, and that time it really went for it. And just like that, with a little timing advance, we made 487 horsepower to the wheels and 589 Newton meters of torque. Okay, so here are the results. As you can see, we did 2 pulls and they are vaguely similar. Down here is the RPM range. We only went to 2500. That would be about 80-85 kilometers an hour. After that, I just didn't want to push it any further. It wasn't really, gaining speed anymore, so I figured, well, might as well stop it here. Right down here is 1000 RPM, and you can see the scale only goes to 125, so, your figures aren't that high. Maximum torque is 142 Newton meters, which is a damn lot, I think, and maximum horsepowerage is 34.5. Ford Motor Company stated 40, but I'm not going to worry anything about that because that, to me, still is a very well working engine. They may have stated anything. It might be SAE horsepower, which is without a water pump, without a fan, without an alternator on it. So, I'm pretty happy with that figure. Also notice that how constant this actually is. There isn't really a curve to this. This is more of a straight line. Of course, there's nothing down here where you have only 10-15 miles an hour in third gear, but right around here is where you would be doing 50 kilometers an hour, 30 miles an hour, and then down here, still pretty constant all over the curve here. But really, this makes this thing so special. It has so much torque that it'll get any job done. It's basically a tractor. And, you've got your peak right around 50 kilometers an hour, so in city driving, you're basically at your optimal point, and then it's a slow decline up to full horsepower. But still, come on, it wasn't really necessary to do this, but I was curious. It's not really about those values, but the curvature to this is just unlike any modern car engine. This is more of a steam engine or diesel engine type of torque horsepower diagram, and you've got that immense amount of stroke and bore, 3.3 liters and I think 104 millimeters of stroke, quite significant. Well, I hope you took something from it, and thank you very much for watching. That's it for this one. Bye!